I wish to speak on the keys to infinite joy. All right, so I'm broken. Well, I'll just come out and clean it. They deemed me mentally ill a long time ago, and it's not something I like to have as a label on me. But I have to because once you're hospitalized, that's it. You have no other life other than that's happened before. It's like if you have a felony, it's like you're always going to be a felon. Like that's fake too. But what was I saying? Oh, joy. It's so available. That's what And okay, so I'm broken because I have this access to euphoria, is what one of the definitions of it is. But I was always a positive person, before I was labeled such. I don't like to believe that. I feel like the real mentally ill people are the ones that don't know joy. That don't want to experience it. The more you get bogged down in the system of all things that are just honestly a fallacy, they're just so fake. And then it's odd having the conversation with people that are entrenched in in society. And it's just like, nah, man, like it can't be all, optimistic all the time. It can't be all sunshine and roses. And I'm like, well, have you ever tried that? They're like, no, I'd rather live in fear. And I'd rather live, be realistic. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I swear we share a lot. But I don't know if we all share the same reality. I just can't figure it out. I don't know enough people anymore. So it's not like I can, knock on my neighbor's door and I'm like, hey, did you feel that, seismic shift at like 4:32 this afternoon? Influxes of all sorts of galactic information. Did you get that? The internet groups aren't big enough and nothing's fast enough for me anymore. I like the connection, and I really want to talk to people, but it's just like they're so downtrodden. And I'm not. Free as a bird. And nobody likes that. I can see it on their faces. And I can hear it in their posture. They're like, there's something wrong with this guy. And I was like, yeah, I broke out of this whole crap that everyone surrounds himself with. And, at the end of the day, I still perpetuate the machine as well. There's no way to do that unless you want to live off the grid and go into a cabin and be all by yourself. And I pretty much do that. I pay for the cabin and the electricity and the food. And that's an important point. Like the last real power we have is purchasing power. So the money you give to specific corporations and stuff, that's your vote, and that's what you're keeping alive. If you want to support local businesses, shop there. I know Walmart has killed Main Street, but we can still pay a little extra for something that was made locally by an artisan or, somebody who crafted it with love, because love is such an important part of all things, and it stays in it. So I say cook your own food, because if you cook it with love, taste love. You go to a Chili's and they just microwave stuff. You don't know if the guy in the back's pissed off, and you're like, oh man, these ribs are really suspect. Joy is within you. The majority of people are looking to outside themselves for things, and you'll find stuff because the universe is a mirror. So it's gonna supposedly it's gonna give you back what you give it. I don't really understand the law of attraction or know how to use it. Manifestation is constantly happening regardless if you're trying or not. That's a real thing. Like your thoughts, no matter what they are, will come to life. That's why I believe in the optimistic road and the hidden thing. Because the more energy I put into that, the more life I give to it. And the more light you can shine on anything you care about, the more love it will hold. Everything can hold love. There's space in between electrons. Nothing ever physically touches. There's space between there. And I love the idea of outer space. I'm like, where does that start? Above the atmosphere? Is there a mile marker? Is there a buoy floating up there? I don't know. You can tell me there's all sorts of International Space Station stuff. I don't believe it. I don't care. Joy. Joy is doing what you want to do. And maybe it's just simply sitting, reading, observing, bird watching. Feed the birds. Feed the birds, which will inevitably feed the squirrels. Because they're always hungry. Those little guys. And the possum occasionally comes to my bird feeder too. So every time I open the screen door, I do a left and right. I'm like, I don't want to piss her off. She's a beautiful mother. I'm like, that's all I need is a really angry rodent with a grudge. So I slammed the door in her face by accident. Man, you know, it's you have to let go. You have to let go of a lot, and that's tough because we're all entrained. We're all constantly monitored and bombarded with all sorts of just like subliminal messaging, corporate logos, and it's hard to escape. I tried blinding this eye by staring at the sun. Well, I didn't try. I succeeded. But just like I was tired of looking at stuff because that's kind of a different topic. But, well, I just don't know if I should change things, because if observation leads to change, like am I here to change things or let them be? I'd rather let them be because that's naturally. But I guess I could change some stuff. Some things really need change, But change and you hit the ground running. Oh man, Led Zeppelin. Oh, what? Van Halen. I always do that. Can't stand Led Zeppelin. Anyway, wow, Freudian crib. Joy is this feeling, and you just have to, the real truth of how I can know so much joy is that I spend equal time in complete anti-joy. But I don't let that get me down, because then I dock into neutrality. That's the real goal. Is once you're in neutrality, you don't let your emotions slide and go opposite directions, because that's the real trick with bipolarity. Is like, oh, is he in a manic state, or is he manically depressed, or is he depressed? I'm just like, stop with your words. The real great joke is like, do you have racing thoughts, Pat? And I'm like, what's the speed of racing? Like, is it miles per hour or kilometers per second squared? Sorry, I'm mad at math and science because time isn't really a function except on this planet. Well, it's different for every planet, that revolves around the sun. That's just... Joy is everywhere. You just have to want to see it ultimately. You have to change your vision and welcome it. You have to be, gratitude really helps, and appreciation, just be when you're present, whatever that is. I think it's kind of just being observant and being there with yourself. Allow your thoughts to run. But place yourself where you want to be, because the universe is going to keep giving you hints and telling you this and that and putting you places and here and there. And if you just keep letting it go, you don't grab it, do what you want with it, it's gone until the next one comes. It's like buses. Reality is like a series. It's like a bus route. You missed this one, there's another one. Now that one broke down. You got to wait for this one. You got to go Crosstown Express. Here's the local. Man, I miss Manhattan. Joy is everything. If you want it. If you don't want it, you're not going to experience it. Everything starts with your thoughts. If you're not comfortable letting things be or seeking out the beauty, beauty is a great way to know joy. Because honestly, I think everything's beautiful. I thank the earth. I'm like, from the smallest grain of sand to the largest beach, from the tiniest pebble to the largest mountain. I find the intricacy just so bursting with just light and information. And every rock's different. I collected rocks for so long now. Every rock's different. Every time you walk through a path, it's different. It's like you can never step in the same river twice. It's the same thing with hiking. You go at a different time of day. The sun's at a different orientation. An animal's been through here. Other people have trudged through here. It's just like it's constantly flowing, ebbing, and changing, and it's just dynamic. If you want joy, be in your heart. Lead with your heart. And that's a tough thing. I still don't really understand that. I think it really comes down to taking the crosshairs of your mental focus and bringing it to your chest and kind of like imagining that you're seeing through it. But it's seeing, It's shooting out shapes and light. And that comes from, your energy nexi. Because this giant electrical machine that we are is also electromagnetic, because you can't have a circuit without a magnetic field. Ooh, man, basic physics. No one wants to talk about that. It's right, it's wrong, it's misinformation, it's true, who knows. Look for joy. Be an example of joy. Otherwise, enjoy being negative. And it might be a thing. I'll never know. Because I'll be over here laughing at myself about some dumb joke I made off of a literary analogy or etymology, Find what you love and never stop being that person.